Hello everyone, and welcome back to Norland, and our World at War series on the channel. And in the last episode, we managed to defend from Belgrade. Unfortunately, as you can see up here, Dewar actually died, and I guess this happened in the interim between that last battle scene that we had and my little outro. I didn't notice it. He must have gotten injured, I'm assuming, and then been unable to actually bandage or whatever his wounds. I don't see any other way he could have died. So he must have gotten pretty injured in that battle, which is super unfortunate. And I'm guessing he just ended up bleeding out, which is definitely terrible. However, we do at least have Vitamir. The only big issue here is that Dwar did have the command talent, so he got a bonus, I believe, whenever he was defending. So that may make things a little more difficult for us now to actually defend in the future. So rest in peace to Dewar, and hopefully we can, manage to make this work. Because right now, as you can see, we barely have any warriors left. We're gonna have to start bringing in some peasants, and we could actually just bring in maybe like 3 or 4 of these to deal with any crime that we have and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. They're not too expensive. And we will be needing to get our training ground soon. Now, in the last episode, you guys may have noticed I went and sold some books, and I said that it was because we were already having already learned them. It was fine to do, and we were just diversifying or whatever the knowledge. But we actually got rid of the recruits book, which I realized when I was editing the last episode, and that was not what I meant to do. So it's fine. We aren't ready to do the training round just yet, but I will need to get that book back. So if you did notice that and you realized it and were going to comment, well, I did realize it in the end. So no big deal there, but we are going to get back to just managing our city and things like that. We are still making our way slowly over here to the southeast. We are preparing our herbalist and things of that nature. Okay, and so we do have our brewery right now available. Like I was mentioning in the last episode, Radibor is mad right now, so he can't deal with this stuff. We do have to just put Vitamir on it. And I think actually since Dewar is dead, we have to move some things over. I think it's just basically the lumber mills. We'll go ahead and take care of that now. And now one thing we do need to deal with before we move forward anymore is we actually have to deal with our managers. Of course, Radibor is mad, as we mentioned in the last episode, and Dewar is dead now, so Vitamir is the only one. We could also have Zivka, but she is pretty terrible at management. At least Vitamir has gone a couple of levels on it. So we'll just go ahead and put him towards us for now. And if he is unable to deal with all of these instructions, then we'll probably put Zivka on a few, which this may actually be a little bit too much for him, come to think of it. I think that is all he actually needs to manage at the moment. Let's see, what about the hall? He's good there. Okay, so that's probably good for the moment. Okay, now on another note, we do have beer is set to way too low of an amount. We're going to set that up to max so that when we produce it, everybody is able to get the beer that they need to hopefully improve their mood a little bit, because as you can see, the mood is pretty terrible across the board. Now here we are at the trader, and we are starting to dwindle the amount of money we have left over. So I think we're going to have to go ahead and sell a little bit of all of these light armors that we managed to accrue. Get us a nice little bit of money back. Otherwise, I think we still have to do the hop field efficiency, and we probably want to keep most of this other stuff as well. We don't want to sell our prisoners, so this is basically as much money as we can really get back right now. Luckily, the recruits book is here, so we can go ahead and buy that back with not too much money lost. And otherwise, we don't really need anything here. I would like to get a little bit more prisoners in order to use them for labor. But I'm not sure if we really want to spend... We'll just buy one, I suppose. Okay, so Zivka wound up actually killing our priest. So now she's wanted for a crime against the matriarch, it looks like. Suspicious death of the bishop. Yeah, that's not going to do so well for us. Matriarch is enraged. The Holy Caravan's not going to show up. That's actually okay for the moment. And they're not going to actually warn us of any disasters. So that's not very good. Now, I don't know. He's still mad, so... Doesn't seem like anything's going to really come of that for the moment. We'll get a new priest, and hopefully he actually likes us a little bit more, and we can just kind of try to keep everybody a little bit happier this time, because now everybody isn't having to do quite as much so we can actually just kind of do flesh wolf hunts and things like that. But unfortunately, our priest is dead, killed by Zivka. Okay, now I think for the last time we can move these lumber mills down, and hopefully we won't need to do so again for a while. We'll just move these here. Okay, and we're going to also cancel the herbalist. We're so close. We can actually just probably put it somewhere over here, and we may end up taking it down a tree or so. But I think that's probably okay. Maybe we can actually put it here. I think that will still knock down a tree, but maybe only the one. Okay, so there's that, and we're also going to move over our patrol here, and that looks like it's a good enough spot for me. And we'll go ahead and set this now to build first, so we can start getting some of these herbs. And it looks like we're actually getting 2 attacks on us right now, so we're going to deal with that in a second. But we basically have these herbs that we need to start getting, and we already have a nice amount of them, so actually we can go ahead and place our alchemy lab that we've already researched. And I would like to... I think actually maybe we'll just wait, so that once we get all this done, we can actually put it somewhere right about here, and that'll be pretty good. But once we get a little more of these trees knocked down, we can start finally moving the city down over to here, except for what little parts that we're going to keep up here. Probably like the fields, of course, and probably just the fields, really, and maybe the lumber, the regular mill, and maybe the brewery, but I don't think so because we're probably not going to grow hops here. I think the hop place might be up here, actually, so we may just end up having our brewery up there as well. We'll just have to see about that, though. Now, as for this, Belgrade wants to rob our treasury, and Paris actually wants to make us a vassal. So that's kind of interesting. So after all of this, after all of the amounts of times that we attacked them, we're actually going to possibly be subservient to them, and it looks like they will make it much sooner than Belgrade, so I'm a little not sure what's going to happen there. They're going to rob us. We may be better off. I wonder... So if they rob our treasury, that'll only take our gold. So maybe we should actually spend down some of our gold, but we'll just have to see. Demand vassalage. Who's demanding vassalage? That would actually be a way better situation for us. But we're not going to be able to make it in time. Yeah, it would take us 10 hours. And they're here in 2, so nothing we can really do there. Okay, so it looks like they have arrived, and this is Paris. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually try to keep our soldiers out of this one, because, of course, we don't want these guys to die, and we don't want Vitamir to die either. Hopefully Zivka doesn't end up getting killed. Actually, we'll just put her in this army, too. And we're just going to send her, or send them... We probably don't even need to send them out of the city. We can just send them up here, and hopefully they will just leave us alone. They'll probably end up burning our hall here, and then we will be their vassal. Okay, so as you can see, the same thing happened as that last time. They brought these soldiers, but then they just left. I don't know if this is a bug. I'm starting to think it might be a bug. I'm still not sure I actually want to defend this, just because if we do, right, then these guys are definitely going to attack us. But if we get conquered by Paris, maybe they will actually help us against Belgrade. I don't think they will. But it could be a possibility. I don't think it's going to matter. I think we're going to try. Just run on in here and see what happens. I don't think we're strong enough to even deal with it, but they are going to burn this down in time, I think. Yes, it looks like they will. So now they actually... Do they steal some stuff from there? No. Okay. Well, let's see if we can somehow track them down in time, but it looks like probably not. No. Okay. So, unfortunately, it does seem like the fire is spreading as well, which I don't like. We're going to go ahead and just disband this. Yeah, these fires did spread. Hopefully they put them out. Yes, they did. Okay. Now, I don't know why. Okay, there we go. Now we are a part of Paris. Okay. So, they leave. Okay, cool. So, we're not going to get burned now by Belgrade. I'm not really sure what's going to happen if they're going to end up attacking Paris. This is not who I would have preferred to join. The only good thing is that we now have access to Vienna and Budapest. So we could maybe take out some of their forest bandits, maybe. And let's see how much they hate us. They actually don't hate us very much. So they may be a trade partner here in the future as well. So I guess maybe it does work out for the most part. And it looks like Rio, Lisbon, and London are all in one kingdom now as well. So that's interesting to see. And now we're going to go ahead and just rebuild this hall, but we're going to go ahead and build it down here, I think. We'll go ahead and put... Oops. Go ahead and put Vitamir on this, and go to our hall, and we're going to place that probably just over here. Doesn't really matter too much where it is, as long as it's down in this general area is probably fine. We did take out a tree, unfortunately, though. Okay, now, unfortunately, one of our lumber mills got broken down. I don't think we're going to bother to rebuild this one. 4 is probably more than enough for what we need. We basically just want to start pushing the herbalist and the alchemy lab. In fact, I'm going to go ahead. I think it's time, once we get this hall rebuilt, we're going to place the alchemy lab probably right about here. That's where I'm thinking is going to be the best spot. So it's just, they're both just right here next to all the herbs. And that should be perfectly fine for us. Okay, now it appears Vienna's ruler actually died, which gives us a positive relationship for the first time with a neighboring city. So we may be able to actually make a trade with them. However, they want to buy meat, which we don't have, and they want to sell rye, which we actually have plenty of. So at the moment, probably not going to deal with that, but it might be time to go ahead and start thinking about having multiple breweries and multiple mills so we can actually start to accrue a nice amount of flour and beer. So that might be the next thing as well, but we're going to wait until we can start moving some of this stuff down first. Okay, so now we've gotten our hull finished up. We're going to go ahead and just put Vitamir on this. Radibor is still going mad, so this is getting to be pretty bad for us. I would like to get the Chancellery moving. That would be quite nice. But it doesn't seem like we can do that just yet, and we do have cutthroats as well. But either way, we're going to start moving some things down. So I think the first thing is to move the library, and we can just put it here. We'll end up moving the lumber mills pretty soon as well. This isn't going to be their permanent spot. I think what we're going to do, we're going to have probably 2 up here, and we'll move some more over here. So we can start clearing out this big area as well, which is where we're going to want to put a lot of our buildings as well. But for the moment, we'll just do that, and we'll go ahead and move these lord houses as well, and they should be just... The main thought process here is to try to keep these lord houses, and basically all the lord stuff, kind of almost center to the multiple sections of our city that there's going to be. So there's going to be, you know, one section down here, and there's going to be another section up here that kind of also goes all the way over here a little bit and over here a little bit. So this isn't perfectly centered by any means, but this is probably a decent little spot for them to start out at, where they can kind of get to every part of the city relatively easily. And if we need to, we can always have one lord, you know, sectioned over here or whatever. But for the time being, this is probably going to work for us. Now we're going to go ahead and set that one there, and we can set... Where did it go? Over here. There we go. Sometimes that happens where you click that that move button, and it just instantly, it acts like you clicked it twice, even if you definitely did not. Now, what's the next thing? We probably can just keep this here for the time being. The market should probably move down, though. Well, actually, it's still, for the time being, close to all these dormitories, so we're going to go ahead and leave it. What we need is, looks like 12, about 18 peasants worth of, so 18 plus the mill and the brewery, so we're going to need 2. And maybe even just keep the 3rd here as well. We'll probably end up wanting to move the barracks, but I'm not exactly sure where yet. Maybe here, but I'm not too sure, so we're going to just leave that. And we'll go ahead and move this last lord house down here as well. And the prison ward should probably be up here now. But we'll just leave that. I don't want to keep moving too many of these things around. We can go ahead and cancel this mill. And we're going to instead place it to be neighboring this other one. Probably like that. And we can go ahead and place this brewery. Can we place it up here somewhere? Seems not. Okay, nowhere there. No. Okay. I suppose right here will work then. And we do need to get ourselves a warehouse as well. And I'm not sure where the best spot for it is yet, but somewhere right here, maybe. So that looks good there. And we will want to get our temple set up soon as well. And I think probably right about here. Again, somewhat central, because I don't want to have too many temples right away, so we'll just place that there. And that's basically the main reorganization that we needed to do for the moment. We're going to need to do more soon, though. And we do also have these forest bandits to kind of take care of, but they're a little too strong, so hopefully they don't attack us too quickly. And lastly, we finally have some room, so let's go ahead and set up our alchemy lab, and we're just going to place it. Let's place it right here. Make sure there's no bushes right there. There is not. Okay, perfect. And we'll go ahead and set up another section of roads. Okay, and our second mill is done, so we're going to go ahead and put Vitamir on that now. I really wish Radibor would stop going crazy, but that's not on the cards for him. And at the same time, I'm going to have Zivka and Vitamir do some flesh wolf hunting together. Just kind of keep their moods hopefully a little more stable. Okay, and now as I was saying before, it looks like it's time to move some of these lumber mills over again. And we'll place 2 of them over here. And we'll place the other 2 probably in this direction. Something like this. Doesn't need to be perfect, but we do want to start moving this direction as well, so we can clear that area out for more buildings. Okay, now what we're gonna do, we are still stocking up the rye pretty substantially here, and I guess we don't even have a manager on this one. But what we're gonna do, we're just going to suspend maybe 2 of them for the time being, because we really want, and we could also just set the mills to priority, so that whenever there is something to be done there, hopefully they will just do that right away. And same with the brewery. We do want our production to be such that when we have enough to make beer and enough to make flour, we definitely want it to be actually getting made. So we'll do that, and that'll free up a little bit more peasants. It looks like we can actually just place 1 back on, which is fine. And then that seems... We definitely want the ones with the best fertility as well. I think this one should be about the same though, so it's probably okay as it is. And now our main goal is to get this alchemy lab finished up so we can start producing medical salves, even though we can't actually sell to the matriarch just yet. I think we need to just get back to minus 25, which the suspicious death, it should start going away soon, hopefully. And then we'll be able to get back to that minus 25, and we'll get the trader back so that we can start to sell these medical salves and actually start making some money. Okay, the alchemy lab is finally finished. We're going to go ahead and put Vitamir on that. Now, we can't upgrade them, so we are just going to have to build more if we need more. Hopefully, we only need the 1, and we'll go ahead and start building, or producing, rather, our medical salves. And we are going to want to produce a lot of them, at least 100. And we'll go ahead and set this to priority. We do still have plenty of idle peasants. We'll go ahead and just unsnooze these rye fields. We have everything prioritized that we actually need, so we'll just keep it like this for now. Okay, and that is probably where we are going to call it. So we are making progress towards building our first real industry, which of course is the medical salves. And after that, we're going to want to make our way over to the mine, so we can start to produce a little bit of weaponry, which we'll probably mostly also sell. Or, you know, maybe we'll use it on at least maces, and then after that we'll start selling them. But either way, that is going to be it for this episode. So, as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.